happened just 3 months ago. I was simply walking home, minding my own business, surrounded by the noise of the day, when suddenly silence struck my heart. It wasn't a sound from the outside, it was a voice from within. It was so clear, so demanding, that it stopped me in my tracks. It said, "Maria, go forward as a Muslim." I froze. I remember looking around, wondering if anyone else had heard it. My mind immediately fought back. I thought, no way. Where is this coming from? This isn't me. This isn't my life. I tried to push it away, to shake my head and keep walking, pretending it was just a fleeting, random thought. But deep down I knew this was different. For days after that, I couldn't find peace. It was like a gentle haunting. That feeling kept coming back, whispering to me in the quiet moments of the morning and the late hours of the night. It kept telling me that I needed to become a Muslim. I didn't understand it. I hadn't planned this. I hadn't been reading books about it or searching for it on the internet. It just arrived. At first I was confused, terrified actually. I would sit on the edge of my bed and ask myself, what is coming over me? Why am I thinking about Islam? Why me? Why now? I felt like I was losing control of the script of my own life. But here is the strangest part. Alongside that confusion, alongside that fear, there was something else I couldn't deny. There was a joy, a strange, inexplicable joy blooming in my chest. I started to feel a deep happiness that had no logical reason to exist. I would catch myself smiling for no reason, and I knew instinctively that it was connected to this pull, this magnetic call toward Islam. But fear is a powerful wall. From the day that feeling started, it took me months of hesitation to gather the courage to actually do something about it. You see, I had this misconception in my head. Someone, somewhere, had told me once that I couldn't enter a mosque. They said, "You aren't Muslim yet. You can't go inside." Those words echoed in my mind like a locked gate. I would wake up with the intention to go, and then I would pull back. I would get dressed, ready to leave, and then the fear would paralyze me. I imagined myself standing at the heavy doors of the mosque and being turned away. I imagined the embarrassment, the rejection. I thought, I will be an intruder.
And so the journey continues not only across distance, but inward, toward a way of seeing that keeps its eyes open. Mountains will still etch dawn in silver and gold. Forests will still weave their green from light. Deserts will still write their clean lines in shadow and wind. The ocean will still hold its horizons like a promise. Wetlands will still mirror the sky, and wings will still turn air into paths between what is and what is possible. In all of these, we are not apart. We are invited to notice, to learn, to move gently, to let beauty teach us patience and presence. As evening deepens and the first stars arrive, the earth exhales. Somewhere, a bird tucks its head beneath its wing. Somewhere, a fox steps into moonlight. Somewhere, a wave completes a journey begun a world away. And somewhere, perhaps here, a quiet understanding settles. The planet is breathing. If we listen, even for a moment, we can hear our own breath answer.
But the feeling in my heart was relentless. It didn't scream, it persisted. It kept pushing me gently, nudging me forward, telling me, you have to go. You have to take this step. You cannot ignore this anymore. Finally, one day, the pull was stronger than the fear. I decided that I couldn't live in this hallway of indecision any longer. I had to know. I made my way to the mosque. I remember every step of that walk. As the building came into view, my legs turned to jelly. Literally, they were shaking beneath me. My heart was hammering against my ribs so hard, I thought everyone around me could hear it beating. The closer I got to the entrance, the louder my doubts became. Oh gosh, I thought, what if they stop me? What if they ask me who I am and I have no answer? What if they say, "You don't belong here"? I knew only a few basic things out of respect. I knew I should take off my shoes. I knew I should cover my hair. But beyond that, I felt like a child lost in a foreign land. I reached the entrance and I just stood there, frozen. I was ready to turn around. My hand was practically reaching for the exit. I told myself, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just go back home where it's safe. And honestly, if no one had come at that exact moment, I would have left. I would have walked away, and who knows if I ever would have come back. But then you appeared. You saw me standing there, paralyzed by my own anxiety. You didn't look at me with suspicion. You didn't ask me to leave. You walked over to me. I remember my voice trembling when I managed to whisper, "Hello, I'd like to come in." I braced myself for the no. Instead, you smiled. You simply said, "Come in, absolutely." I cannot explain the weight that fell off my shoulders in that second. In that moment, all my fear didn't just disappear. It softened into gratitude. Instead of being turned away, I was welcomed. You were happy to see me. You treated me not like a stranger, not like an intruder, but like an honored guest who had finally arrived home. That simple welcome opened a door, not just to the physical building of the mosque, but to a whole new life for me. Entering that space, I started to understand something profound. What I had felt on the street 3 months ago wasn't madness. It wasn't a random thought. It was a calling from Allah. It amazed me, truly amazed me, that this feeling had come out of nowhere, with no warning, yet it was so strong that it completely redirected my life. I used to ask, why am I feeling this? Now, sitting in the mosque, I knew. I noticed what was happening inside me. The anxiety was replaced by peace. The confusion was replaced by clarity. There was a new kind of happiness that I hadn't known before, a tranquility that settled deep in my soul. And then the words came. All of a sudden, I found myself wanting to say words I had barely heard before, words in a language I didn't speak. But my heart spoke them before my tongue did. I began to say, "Accept Allah, accept Allah." And inside, I was bearing witness. I knew with absolute certainty that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is his messenger. When I finally said the Shahada, the words felt natural on my tongue. It didn't feel like I was learning something new. It felt like I was remembering something I had always known, something that had been waiting inside me all along, just waiting for the right moment to breathe. My heart softened completely. I began trusting that this path was the right one for me. The struggle was over. The surrender had begun. Now, when I look at the future, my dreams have changed. I don't dream of fancy holidays or tropical islands. I don't want to go to random places just to see the sights. My heart is fixed on one destination, like a compass that has found its true north. I want to go to Mecca, InshaAllah. That is the journey I long for. That is the place I want my feet to walk and my eyes to see. We are working on the simple things first now, getting my paperwork sorted, my birth certificate, my passport. But the goal is clear. InshaAllah, we will plan that trip. Just saying that word, InshaAllah, fills me with such hope. I love saying it. People smile when they hear me say it. But for me, it is more than just a phrase. It is a lifeline. If Allah wills. It reminds me that I am not in control, and that is a beautiful thing. It reminds me that my life is in His hands, that my steps are guided by the One who created me. This whole journey, from that first voice on the street to this moment right now, has taught me the most important lesson of my life. In all kinds of trouble, in every kind of sadness or confusion, I must always look to Allah. When I was lost and unsure, He placed that feeling in my heart. When I was afraid at the door, paralyzed by fear, He sent someone to welcome me in. When I didn't know what to say, He put the truth on my tongue. Now I know that when life becomes heavy, when difficulties surround me, I should not despair. I should turn to Him, trust Him, and call on Him. He is the one who helps us through our hardest moments. He is the one who brings light into our darkness and joy into our sadness. This is how I came to Islam. Not by my own planning, not by my own logic, but by Allah placing a powerful call in my heart, and then gently, so gently, guiding my steps, one after another, until I finally came home.